there, I've got a card to show you how to do a little bit of your Geminis in a different way with your configurations to make a mixed border, and I'm showing off the new Iris card with this, this card today. The dies we'll be using include the Sintra from the Portuguese collection, from the Mini Gemini dies, the Ara. I'm also going to be using the Teardrop Adornment from the Configurations range. And we'll be doing a little embossing with the Art Deco Rose Swirl. So I think I'll start with some cutting. I'm going to cut the Ara die. We need one more of those today. So I'm going to use the top cutting edge and the decorative die. The Geminis come with a bottom cutting edge you can use also, but we aren't going to be using it for today's card. So bring in my cutting plate here and we'll just line these up. A little bit of tape, put them into place. Just get it centered around that. There we go. And a second piece of removable tape will keep that nice and sturdy. Run that through our grand caliper. Check that. Looks good. I tell you what, let's just give it a quick emboss while we're here too. Pop that into place. There we go. Okay, now with the Gemini dies, you will need to just nip that edge because the cut edges are separate. So let's undo all of this carefully. Take off our dies and we will just nip that away on the sides here with the scissors. A little tiny bit here and a little tiny bit here. And let's just take out our extra little pieces. Clean out all the fall away bits. Okay. Now, I've gone ahead and cut a second one, and I've just nipped around it a little bit. So for this one, we're going to line it up, put them side by side. So I want to cut away from this part of the swirl, all the way around it. And on this side, I want to leave these little three things right there. So I'm just going to nip that and cut around it to there, okay? So I can put those two together. So we'll turn it over and I'll bring in some just regular tape and just line them up together so they're nice and even. Put a little bit more on there and we can just even trim off the bottom here. We're going to hide this behind our center so that is not even going to show. So I've got this part here, but I wanted to detail it a little bit more. So I'm going to bring in the Teardrop Adornment that I've cut, and we are just going to put this into place right behind it so that that center teardrop comes right into where those two meet. And I'm going to add another piece of tape behind there. Now this isn't going to show, so I'm not going to worry about where it is. That will all be hidden behind the card we're going to do some embossing with. So I've got two really nice little borders there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is emboss a strip that I've done, just some coconut white card with the Art Deco Swirl. Now this particular embossing folder has some, they look like about inch wide strips of pattern. So I'm going to try and get that centered right in between there. Keep it nice and straight. And that's our sandwich, the base plate and the raspberry adapter. Okay. Bring that over. So you can see how nicely that embossed. There we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and tape these into place. So we're going to put that upside down, put this one upside down. I'm just going to bring it up to the edge of those, excuse me, the edge of those. There we go. Put a piece of tape across like that. get one down here, hold that into place. Do this side. Just catching the edge of those. Right like that. Okay, so you can see they just peek out really nicely from behind that embossed edge. So I'm going to bring in my base, and we will use a bit of mounting foam. There we go. In fact, maybe one more piece like that. We're going to just raise it up for a little bit of dimension. And I'm going to put that right into the middle of that one, and then we will seat that along there. We just lean in and get that ever so straight. That looks good. And then I will go ahead and put this into the center that we've already done some of our usual paper piercing and matting and layering. Don't forget about your edges. That's always important. It's a nice finish to your cards. Pop that into place right between there. Okay, so there's the base of my card. So the next thing we're going to do is I've gone ahead and I've cut one of the Sintra with the inside bits. Okay, so it's nice and decorative. And I'm going to bring in my paper cutter and just nip this directly in half. There we go. So I can put these two top and bottom so that they are just going to be showing from underneath my focal element. About like that. And I've done another Sintra where I've used the new iris card on there as the backing, and I've raised it with a little bit of mounting foam. So I'll go ahead and peel the backing off of those. And then we have actually cut the Sintra of that Sintra separately in white and backed it with white, so we'll have a nice little piece to look down through our focal element and see. So I'm going to pop that right on top of that and just nip away the edges. Keep your scissors at an angle so you don't cut into that top die. There we go. In this last little corner there. Okay, so now we're going to seat that so that those real pretty decorative die cuts will just be peeking out from underneath that. Some Cosmic Shimmer glue to hold it into place. And center that about like that. Keeping that straight. And I've gone ahead and stamped a sentiment using the center of the Sintra again. So I'm going to go back over and bring in my cutting plate and my base plate, and we will do a quick cut with that one. It's got a really pretty shape to it, I think. Okay. And let me just seat that right back into the die quickly because we are going to do some inking through that die. There we go. Going to bring in the shaded lilac and a smoothie. Just pick up a bit of that color. And starting from the edge, I'm going to work in towards just past the die. So I just pick up a nice little pretty edge there. A little bit of color. Go all the way around that. So I'm going to just essentially create a really pretty frame for my sentiment. A little bit more. There we go. Till you're happy with it, you can go over it. It's always easier to start out very light and then add ink to it. I think that looks good. Pop that into place and don't forget to remove it and put it back. And just a little bit of mounting foam in the back of that to raise it. I'm going to pop that right into the center of that to finish our card. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love the way that looks. So you can add some extra pearls if you like I've done on the original, and just kind of dress it up, finish it off. hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please look at my blog. It's partycraft.blogspot.com, because I have a daily card for you there.